Welcome to Birds of Prey Sports Talk. We're your hosts TJ and Jared, and today we'll be covering the Mariners series, in which it was a crazy series. You
Yeah.
know, it was very slow offensively for the most part, and then it started to heat up towards the end. But we're going to get straight into game one. We start out bad, losing 9-2,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna pass it on to Jared to go by with the inning by inning analysis, and then we'll get on. We'll get on later about our own, analysis and thoughts for the game. So,
Yeah.
Jared.
Yeah. So like TJ said, it was a pretty crappy first game, staying up till 10 o'clock. It's just to watch us get absolutely bludgeoned. 9-2 is never fun. Um, Orioles come in the game 71-44. Mariners come in 62-52. They're coming in on a 6-game winning streak, or no, 7-game winning streak, looking to extend it to 8. They're just kind of like last year, where they're kind of like that streaky team. But anyways, Mariners get 2 in the first. Orioles get 1 back in the fourth, but they get 5 in the bottom of the fourth. Mariners get 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and we get 1 in the ninth to make it look uh, less terrible, I guess. Orioles get 2 runs and 4 hits, no errors. Mariners get 9 runs on 12 hits and no errors. Our top hitters, Santander hits a home run, goes 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Honestly, nobody really else. There's, nothing. I guess Westberg, he was 1 for 2 with an RBI, so I guess congrats to him. Ahern gets his 15th double in the year. Santander gets his 21st home run on the year. Our pitching line, you see, we lost 9-2. You'd think it would be a basketball lineup, and that actually wasn't, surprisingly. Only 3 pitchers used today. As Kyle Gibson finds a way to go to 5 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 9 runs, 9 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 3 home runs given up. He gets the loss, obviously, and goes 11-7 on the year. Our new pitcher, Jacob Webb, goes 1 1/3, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Nick Vespi goes 1 1/3 as well, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts, no home runs given up. Our pitching totals: 8 innings pitched, 12 hits, 9 runs, 9 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 3 home runs given up. Most of the pitching line really is just kind of Kyle Gibson, just not having it today or then. And it just, those games happen, where you just can't get offensive output, and then knock my mic over.
You
Um,
I got
what
a
were we gonna say?
question to ask you.
Go ahead.
Is Kyle Gibson starting to show some shades of Ubaldo Jimenez from 2015, from 2015 and 16?
No, that would be doing Walter Jimenez a great favor, calling him anywhere close to what or Kyle Gibson is right now. Kyle Gibson is a guy who's going to eat innings and put together more good starts than bad. Ubaldo Jimenez put more bad starts than good, if he even put together good starts. So and he's not going to be an option out of the bullpen like Ubaldo Jimenez was in 2016. So no, I don't see him being like the Ubaldo Jimenez of our team. Maybe the Ubaldo Jimenez of our team could have been like someone like Austin Voth or something like that, or something like. But I don't know. We didn't give him a big contract, so it's not like if we had like signed Jack Flaherty and he was terrible or something like that, and he came out and gave up a home run, then yeah, maybe. But I don't see Kyle Gibson being like that bad. Yeah, anything
But
else to add?
it is pretty, I do hope that he gets his stuff together, because his latest starts, hasn't been his best. And
I'd like to just interject and say that he's actually been on a little bit of a tear recently, but with the Mariners game, the Mariners kind of owned him this year. I mean, in his first start, he also got lit up. That was a City Connect rain delay night, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but like the Mariners just kind of lit him up this year, so that's not good. For a possible playoff matchup later in the postseason.
you know, I all in all, I just want, you know, like we've been saying all year, the pitching just needs to be a little bit more consistent. And also the offense, needs to step up as well. If we're gonna have a game where our pitchers are allowing 9 earned runs, our offense has to play accordingly. I feel like we have guys that can step up, young guys that can step up to the plate and drive in some runs. And we've seen it before, how we rally back, and these are the type of ball games that it just seemed like we never can fight ourselves out of it.
Yeah,
Just recently, the Marlins, were losing 7-3 to Yankees, and they're a wild card team, and they fought their way back out of it. And it seemed like when we're down like 9-2 or like 7-0, it just seems like, we're dead fish for the rest of the game. And I just, when we're getting pinned down, by both sides, I just something's got to give, and I just want something to give, moving forward if we're gonna find ourselves in these situations again. I mean, like, do you feel like that's a fair assessment?
I mean, ideally you'd like to make a comeback, but I think once you're talking about the 7, 8, 9 range, you're just kind of asking for too much. It's just a game you kind of got to chalk up as a loss. I think that you're gonna have your average shootout, every once in a while where a game ends like 12-11, or like we saw like the Diamondbacks and Braves go at it like 16-13 or something like that earlier this year. But I mean, I I think it's just one of those games that it's just you just got blown out. I mean, it's just simple as that. Offense wasn't clicking, pitching wasn't clicking, or really your starting pitching wasn't clicking. And I don't know. Like I think that is kind of a lot to ask, because we have the most comebacks in the majors. So it's not like we're like, these slouches when we go down, like some mid-teen, like the Yankees or whatever, So like I think that you know, there will be games where we make a good comeback. We've seen us make great comebacks this season, last season, overall in Orioles tenure. I mean, just last year, I believe we came back like 10-1 versus the Red Sox. Like that was last year. But like, I don't know. It's just one of those games where it's like you get it to 2-1, or you get to 3-1, 3-2, whatever, and then they just kind of pile it on after that, and it's just kind of like, all right, well now we're kind of out of our element. Sometimes you're only going to get 2, 3, 4, 5 runs in a game. So anything over that, you're expected to win, and then expected maybe not to come back when you're down by that many runs. So, anyway, do you have any more thoughts in game one?
Honestly, it's just best to put that one to bed.
I thought
Game
I thought I announced here that we're filming this video during the Orioles versus Padres game two, and I want to just tell you that James McCann is pitching at the moment. So
Wow.
we're gonna see how well that goes so far. I'm
That
gonna see how he's doing.
that just tells you how bad that game is going when you have
Yeah,
the
it's
catcher
10 to
pitching.
1. Just throw freaking Mateo out there, see what he can do.
You might
Anyways, huh?
you might drop the pitch before he even throws it.
He's gonna balk it. Anyways, enough Jorge Mateo slander here. In game two, probably another one of those exciting games, another 1-0 victory. It feels like we haven't had a lot of those this year, and then we've had two in the past like 2 or 3 weeks. So that's remember the Yankees game, and then this
Yeah.
game here. Like I said, Orioles win 1-0. Orioles get 1 in the 10th, and that's it. Orioles get 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. Seattle gets no runs on 4 hits and 1 error. Our top hitters, just Mountcastle, he goes 2 for 4 with an RBI, which is the game-winning RBI. No extra. It doesn't seem like we have any extra base hits, so that's kind of interesting. Our pitching line, Cole Irving goes 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Mike Bama goes to inning, 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. Sorry, 1 walk and no strikeouts. Jacob Webb comes back into the game, goes 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Ciano Perez gets the last out of the inning, goes 1/3 of an inning, no hits. Okay, 0 across the board. Junior Cano comes in, goes to the inning, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks. Sorry, 1 walk and no strikeouts. And Felix Bautista comes in for the last 2 innings, goes 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. He gets the win. He is 7-2 on the year. Our pitching line, 10 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 4 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Um, you know, it's funny because the pitcher for the Mariners, he goes 9 innings, shutout baseball, and gets no decision. I would be I'd be furious, if that happened to me. I would have to be in some teammates' ears, that happened. I pitched my heart out just to wind up still losing the game. So I mean that's baseball, I mean that happens. Our starter only goes 5, their starter goes 9, and we somehow win. So we don't even have an extra base hit in the game. So that's that should tell you the whole story. That baseball is crazy sometimes, and Ryan Mountcastle comes in clutch in the top of the 10th, and Felix Bautista comes even more clutch in the top of in the bottom of the 10th. I'm sorry, and shuts the door down versus the top of their lineup. So you got any notes about game two? I mean, there's really nothing much to say besides just a gritty victory from the bullpen, and offense somehow gets that one run.
You know, I'm gonna go here on a limb and say this game right here is one of the most important games of this year,
Mm-hmm.
and I say that because of the context around this game. The Blue Jays, I believe they had like an 8 or 9 game winning streak going into this game, and they had all the momentum from the game one win. They just
Mm-hmm.
completely shut us down. You know what I'm saying? And this game too is important because it can either just we're done. We lost the series.
Right.
Let's just go into, not let them sweep us mode, or we can continue fighting and try to take this over. And that's
Right.
exactly what we did. We fought. And that's one thing that I love about this team is we fight hard.
Yeah.
We might not have, the best home run hitters like the Matt Olsons, the Shohei Ohtanis, the Judges, but we fought hard in this game,
Yeah.
arguably the most important game of the season in
Mm-hmm.
hostile territory.
Right.
And like there was times where I was scared, like, oh my
Yep.
God, I'm gonna get a base hit. They're gonna end it just like that, especially with the new rule, having the runner at second base in extra innings, and we got it done. And
Yep.
honestly, I'm just proud. This
Yep.
is a game where I felt like we were gonna lose, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you felt that way too.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure everybody in Baltimore felt that way.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um.
So
So
this
let
was
me
an
just
important
let
game.
me let me just bring this up. I'm gonna see if they have it here. So yeah, just let me just before like even like just without game stats or whatever. Let me just tell you that it's King Felix is Felix Hernandez is you know Mariners Hall of Fame introduction night. They have a big ceremony. The crowd is loud. They send their best young pitcher out there to start. He dominates the Orioles. There's 45,823 people there at the stadium, yelling and screaming for your failure, for your downfall, and you still win that game. Even if it's just one nothing is this it's crazy. A 1-0 win is the same as an 18 to nothing win. It still counts as a win. So it's like it doesn't matter how you win. It just matters if you just do it. And it's like all the odds stacked up against you from the 45,000 plus to and then I think it's just funny that you know Felix Bautista was the one to close the game out and shut the door down on King Felix night, and maybe show the Mariners fans that there's a new King Felix in town now. Or Orioles fan. You don't seem to be on board with that.
Well, it just makes me remember how salty the Mariners broadcasting system were about the whole King Felix thing.
Did you see the broadcasters like on the verge of seemed like they were on the verge of tears? Like I have never
Yeah, I've
seen
seen it. It was
grown
crazy.
men. I've
Yeah.
never seen grown men almost cry over a nickname. Like
Yeah.
it looked like he wanted to throw a temper tantrum, like slam his hand in the ground like a kid who didn't get a cookie after dinner or something like that. Like
Yeah,
it was embarrassing. That was terrible.
Felix
Like he
probably doesn't
he was
even
he
know
was
that.
like he was like, oh my God. Like I'm like, are you gonna cry, dude? Do I need to give you a tissue? Like what the hell?
Right, right. Yeah.
What were you gonna say about Felix Bautista?
I was gonna say, King Felix probably doesn't even know that guy, so
Right.
I don't even.
Exactly. Right. And it's a nickname. It's not like we just like, you know, I don't know, clone Ken Griffey Jr. or something like that and decided to use him or something like yeah. Like
Right,
it's a
right.
nickname. Like and I don't know. I think it's embarrassing. It's like I said, especially the way the announcers were carrying like dealing with that afterwards. I'm like, come on. Like we're grown men here. So don't cry about this.
Yeah.
Like it's a nickname. Like, oh my God. Anyways, enough roasting them. So we have a chance to get the last laugh in the series, and win the season series instead of because I think if we win this last game, we'd win the season series 4-2, if I'm not mistaken. And we do exactly that. We win the game 5-3 and 10 again. So another extra innings game. Orioles get one in the third. Mariners get back in the third. Mariners get one in the fifth. We get one back in the sixth. We get one in the ninth. They get one back in the ninth, but we get two in the 10th and shut the door down in the bottom of the 10th. Orioles get 5 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. Mariners get 3 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Um, Our top hitters on the day, Cedric Mullins goes 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Ryan Mountcastle goes 2 for 5 with a run scored. Austin Hayes goes 1 for 5 with an RBI. And Westberg, I'm going to mention Westberg. He goes over 1 for 4 only, but he gets an important double in the game. As I mentioned here, Jordan Westberg gets a double, his 8th on the year. Adam Frazier gets a double, his 16th on the year. Cedric Mullins hits a home run the 10th inning, gets his 10th home run of the year. Our pitching line, it's long. Kyle Bradish goes 6 innings pitched, 5 runs, 2 hits. Sorry, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Ciano Perez goes an inning, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Yenier Cano goes an inning, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Mike Baumann comes in for his first career save and blows it. He goes 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, no walks, no strikeouts, and a home run given up. Nick Vespi gets the last out in the 9th. He goes zeros across the board. And Shintaro Fujinami gets his first career save ever. He goes 1 inning, no, and zeros across the board with 1 strikeout. Our pitching totals 10 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts, and the home run obviously given up by Mike Baumann. Where do we even start with this game? I mean, it's a back and forth game up until the top of the 9th, where Jordan Westberg gets a double. Jorge Mateo gets on base. Jorge Mateo pinch runs for Jordan Westberg. McCann walks. Mateo points out something that the pitcher's doing, gets called for a balk. Both McCann and Mateo move up a base. So Mateo goes to third, McCann goes to second. Adley Rutschman comes up, little dribbler right past the mound, thrown right to home. It's a good throw. It's not like it's a bad throw. And Mateo sneaks in there just because he has lightning speed. Go to the top of the 9th. Oh, sorry, the bottom of the 9th. Mike Baumann gets an out, then gives up like a long fly drive to center field, and Cedric Mullins he makes the catch of the year, really. It would have been amazing if that was the game-saving catch, which I guess in a way it was. Because I mean the next pitch, well, actually this is the second to next pitch was a home run that tied the game. Yeah, Cedric Mullins robs a home run in center field. I mean, that was incredible. I don't know if you saw, but I mean that was amazing. And Cedric Mullins, we needed him so bad. Like, we needed Ceddy back because he's a very vital part of this team to run forward. And I'm gonna get why that's the case in a second. But and then Cedric continues to put the team on his back. He gets the home run in the top of the 10th. And what's crazy is it's like the bottom of the 9th and the top of the 10th were the innings of second chances, because think about it. Ty France gets robbed of a home run, and then I forgot his name. It's I think it's Dominic Calzone, which is kind of a funny name, hits a home run with the next batter to tie the game. So then we go to the 10th. Santander's up. He grounds to second. I believe Gunnar moves to third. Cedric comes up. He gets down a few pitches, and then he hits a blast, but it's foul. And I'm like, damn, that'd have been awesome to get a home run. And then a few pitches later, he gets the same pitch pretty much and hits it fair. It's a second chance with the same pitch and hits it fair over the wall for a home run that wins us the game. And Shintaro Fujinami comes in, and he sucked at first. I mean, he just the first 3 pitches were just way out of the zone. McCann goes up and goes up to talk to him. I don't know what he said, but he looked completely different after that and got the next 3 outs and shut the door down. Do you have anything else to bring up about this game here?
Well, about that Sergio Mullin catch, I think every Orioles fan saw that catch. I don't even. Of course, I saw it. Every Orioles fan saw it. But you know, like you said, this was a very rocky game. Fujinami, came in, wasn't looking good at first, just like you said, and just got a fire lit under him. And like I said, like I always say, games like this is what defines us, is what this season is about.
Right.
Gritty wins. Wins like this build character, and they just make us more and more ready for the postseason.
Yep.
And obviously it's good to see Mullins back in
Yeah.
100% form. I mean,
Yeah.
he healed, very well, very fast,
Yeah.
and we need him out there, center field, for the postseason. No Mateo,
Yes. Yeah. Oh
no
my
anybody
God.
else, because
Yeah.
it's like you don't have no worries when a
Right.
ball is in his direction. Like, he's just gonna
Right.
catch it,
Right.
and his bat came through as well,
Yeah.
So this is just a great win, a gritty
Hmm.
win, one that builds character, and
Right,
it keeps our status above the AL East, still there.
right. And it's just, I mean, to go what I was just talking about earlier, why we need Mullins back in this team is because, I mean, think about how well we've been doing recently with Mullins back now and then Mountcastle starting to heat up. And it gives chances for guys like Gunner and Adley and Santander and O'Hearn to get like the weight off their backs. Like they don't have to fully put everything on their shoulders to carry the team to a victory. Like there's more guys in the team. And this is what makes us so like all these models project us to still find a way to not make the postseason or still find a way to discredit us, still find a way to make us look worse than we actually are. But they don't they don't ever they account statistics, analytical data, numbers, like trends or whatever. But what they don't calculate is a few things. They don't calculate heart. They don't calculate team chemistry and how much a player means to a team. Well, I guess maybe they do the last thing. I guess that would be like war or whatever. But like, that's not the point. My point I'm trying to make here is that think about it. The Orioles don't do anything exceptionally good. Like there's nothing you can think about that the Orioles do that would be better than another team. Like what do we do that's better than the Braves? What do we do that's better than the Astros? What do we do that's better than the Rays? I don't know. But we don't do anything absolutely terrible. Like there's not one thing you could think about where it's like, damn, the Orioles, they really suck at that. Like we have maybe our weak spots, like how every team does, but it's not like, oh, this is really like something you really got to be concerned about. Like this is something that is going to cost us later in the season.
I
We're
know
just like,
something that we do better.
hmm.
We don't cheat. I'm just playing, but you know, so I
No
just have
trash
to
cans
say it.
here.
I just have to say it. I just have to say it. But go,
No,
continue,
it's
continue,
right.
bro.
It's all jokes here, but like they don't do anything exceptional in a good way or in a bad way. They're just kind of they do everything together. Like think about it in this terms. When the Yankees don't have Judge, what happens? They suck. When if Otani and Trout went down for the Angels, what's going to happen? Well, in fact, when they even do have Otani and Trout, they still suck. So it's like it doesn't help. We don't have a superstar. We have star caliber players. We don't have a superstar, but we don't have anyone in the team that's really like dragging us down. Like we may have a few players that weigh us down every once in a while, like Mateo, Frazier, Arias, maybe Hayes when he's on a slump. But everybody contributes in one way or another. Hayes might go 0 for 4 in a game, but he'll make a game saving catch. Mullins is the same way. He might go 0 for 4, but have a game winning catch. Gunnar might make an error in the field, but he'll make up for it with a 3-run home run. Adley might not get a hit in the game, but he might walk that will lead Santander hit a 2-run home run to give us a lead. So it's like these little things. It's almost like a butterfly effect, where one player does one thing and it kind of bounces off one another. In a way that's a way to describe it. Like the Orioles aren't spectacular, amazing, this flashy team that hits 209 like 9,000 home runs a year, whatever, like the Braves do. They don't have the best pitching in the league like the Rays do. Um, they don't they don't bang on trash cans like the Astros. No, but no, seriously. I mean, the Astros have a clutch factor. You can't even lie. Like, and the Orioles are developing that clutch factor. Sometimes it'll pull through, sometimes it won't. But one thing I think Astros fans know one thing for sure is when they're down, they're never out.
Yeah.
Like they'll always battle for sure, like 100%. Like that game, like we just talked about in the last video, or the video that's not posted yet, but it will be posted probably tomorrow. But talking about like their clutch team, they have a clutch team, and it's just what it is, and that's what good teams do. So, but the thing is, it's going to be a good question of how far can that lead us for not being exceptional in everything. So depending on what our seeding is, we might either need to win 11 games or 13 games to win the World Series. And it's like sometimes you may not be the better team, but you might be the most hot team. And that's all that's going to matter. Like seeding will never matter in the postseason. I'm sorry. It will never matter to you. If you're hot, then you have a chance to win. It'd be nice to play at home, but you cannot pick and choose. Beggars can't be choosers in these situations when you want to make the postseason. So that's just my thought about the Orioles and our 2023 season so far. There's just everybody does something. There's not a player like, yeah, we want certain players DFA'd, like maybe like Mateo and then Voth and Aiken or whatever, but You know, Mateo still offers value. Voth is gone for the year. Aiken's probably not going to be called back up. And then on top of that, who knows? Maybe Mullins, I'm sorry, maybe Wells comes back up and shoves. Maybe Means comes back up. Maybe, I don't know, what's it called? Maybe they call up Holiday. I mean, you never know what's going to happen these next few weeks. You know, these next few weeks are going to be very important. And even if we do lose a game, we might get blown out down the way, like we're getting blown out tonight. We probably already lost, but you know, the Rays lost. So we got to see things as wins sometimes. You know, we're going to lose games. We're going to win a lot of them. We're going to lose some of them. It's just, but just remember that the Orioles have very important statistics that will never be weighted by analytics or some model or whatever. Eye test is what's important most of the time. And when you see how hard this team plays, the grit they play with, the adversity they have to deal with, and the team chemistry they have, it's just special to watch as an Orioles fan.
Yeah, and I just wanted to, piggyback on, when you were talking about, you know, what we, basically how we don't do anything exceptionally well compared to other teams.
Mm-hmm.
I just pulled up a stat. We're road warriors. I mean, we have
Yeah.
among one of the best road, uh, win to loss ratios in the league, other
Yeah.
than the Braves, I believe. And so,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, we're one of the teams where, even if we had to take the extra road to get to the World Series, playing the extra games on the road, I
Yeah.
feel like, we're exceptional at that. Not to
Right.
not to, discredit what you were talking about, but I feel like, we're road warriors
Mm-hmm.
and we're willing to get it done however it needs to be done. We
Mm-hmm.
just want it. And
Right.
that's one thing that I feel like is another thing that's exceptional about us, is exceptional. We're
Mm-hmm.
hungry. We're we're hungry. We got
Yeah.
these guys, everybody wants to come up. And we
Mm-hmm.
still got some dogs down there that are doing good,
Right.
that they're just chomping at the bit to come up. So we're hungry, we're road warriors. I mean, I feel like we got these things going for us. And those are the
Yep.
right things to have going into the postseason.
And another thing about the Road Warriors part before we finally recap this video, you know, that is something the Orioles never really did well. Back in when they had Manny and Scope and Adam and whatever. Like, God forbid there was two on, no one out in the bottom of the ninth. Orioles lose that game back then.
Yeah.
But now I don't know. Hayes might dive and make a play. Mullins
Yeah.
might rob a home run. Gunnar might make a diving stop that turns into a double play.
Mhm.
So there's a little bit more of a fight when it comes on the road. And think about all the games they've played so far on the road this year that have had playoff atmosphere, starting after the All-Star break, like in Tampa. All those 4 games, all playoff like games. We won 3 out of 4. Like all the games in Toronto, playoff type games, won 3 out of 4. All 3 games in Seattle, you know, all playoff game like atmospheres. You win 2 out of 3. So it's like there's a there's a clutch gene to this team that still isn't even fully developed, in my opinion. This team is nowhere near its final form. Like this team is a sleeping beast. Like they may not be exceptional at anything right now, besides like you said, the Road Warriors and like they're hungry, but like you said, there's we're not like 100%. Like I give us maybe a like 65, 70%. The team is fully formed. And you got to remember, there's guys that got to develop still, like Gunnar, Hadley, Westberg, Kowser, I can't think of any at the moment. Oh, like Rodriguez, Bradish, Kramer, all these guys. And imagine they all develop at the same time. I mean, we're looking at dynasty like team, in my opinion. So, but we got to win first to be able to be considered anything like that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you got anything else to say about the series? Even though that last part was really more about the Orioles in general.
Um, you know, this is just a great series, and it was a play, like you said, playoff atmosphere, and we got the job done.
Right.
And that's why I said this series is one of the most important of the year because
Yep.
we were able to stop a team on a hot streak. So
Yep.
yeah,
And at their place. So yeah,
yeah.
it was a very important series. Win the season series versus the Mariners. So a tiebreaker will always go to us. That'll be a recap of the Orioles versus Mariners series. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Make sure to check out our Twitter. I'm going to keep saying this each time, but we post live game updates. We usually do Maybe for the later games, it might not be as reliable, but usually during the 7 o'clock games and 4 o'clock games, they should be. But check out our TikTok. We'll have some more TikToks. Me and Tajon will be heading to a game next week.
Mhm.
There are 2 games next week actually, so expect maybe some TikToks there. And don't forget to subscribe to our second channel, Casual Cinema. And we're Birds of Prey, and we're out.
Well.